Hello, and how we're doing? Welcome to another installment of Brews and Views. And today, we're going to be going over a series again. Since one of my my catchphrases is "You are loved, you are needed, you are not alone." I understand that. No matter how many times I say that, some people won't necessarily agree with that. It won't change how they feel. I get that. I really do. I really understand that. Because there are times when, you can be surrounded by people and you can feel completely alone. And there's times, got people telling you all the time how good you are or how great you are or whatever it is, and you still feel lonely. So I just want to start this, as always, with a quote, and that is: "A season of loneliness and isolation is needed for a caterpillar to get their wings." So you should remember that. You may be in your caterpillar season right now, but you're going to get your wings real soon. Now, I want to ask you a question. Are you lonely? It's a song, that, isn't it? Sorry, it just came into my head, and it's not it's not a funny topic, is it? But humour is always a good way out to make yourself feel a bit better. Looking for humour is good. But I digress there a little bit. I want to ask you though, are you lonely or are you alone? And although they may seem the same, they are two completely different things. Being alone can sometimes be quite enjoyable. If you spend a lot, as a introverted type person, I do enjoy my own company. I do enjoy spending time being by myself, because it requires a lot of energy for me personally to be amongst people and having to communicate with them, especially verbally, all day long. It wears me out. So at some point in that day, I will require at least 15 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe even an hour, a couple of hours, depending on how intense the day's been, to spend some time by myself without having to be asked to do anything or anything that I don't need to do. Recharging my batteries, right? Now, when I'm doing that, I don't feel lonely. I feel like it's a positive thing that I'm doing. I'm putting myself in that position so that I can then serve again. Because ultimately my job is to serve people. This is not my job. This is something I do out of the love, out of my heart. But I have two jobs. I work in care, and I am a personal trainer, boxing coach. So all those things require me to be present and available. And sometimes it could always come at the best sort of time. So being alone allows me to be better at times. So if I get a little break in between a session, or have a moment, I get an opportunity for a break, then I will take it, because then I know I will feel refreshed and good. Now, being lonely doesn't feel anything like that. In fact, it feels the complete opposite. And for some, it can be almost debilitating. It's not a nice feeling. It's depressing. Can also bring about bouts of anxiety, and different people suffer from it in different ways. And again, these people may be people around, and there might just be some people who possibly could be quite shy, People can sometimes become lonely, can become withdrawn because of something that's happened. And I'm going to address that. I'm going to address that by looking at loneliness and how to sort of overcome it. And I hope you're going to find this useful. Because you have to remember that you got to sometimes flip some stuff on its head. And it's okay to feel lonely. You have to. I guess that's possibly the first step. Accepting the fact that it's okay to feel lonely. Then we can then move on to what that is and why you feel that way, and start addressing those things. As long as it doesn't last forever or a very long time. That's when it's okay to feel it every now and then. But remember, you're not alone. In the actual sense of the word, in this modern day, you aren't alone. You could reach out to somebody and you can find someone to communicate with. And you're not going to be the only person who's battling with these feelings. There's been many people since COVID have experienced problems with loneliness, isolation. But you then have to again, everyone's different, right? I can't expect everybody to think the same way. But there's got to, in order for you to get out of the hole, you will need to be able to look at things a slightly different way, because of your thoughts or what's got you where you are. You think you're lonely. Yeah, you think that you're lonely. But there's possibly evidence to suggest that you're not by yourself, you're not alone. So if you're in your caterpillar phase, you've got to think about, okay, something's good's going to come out of this. This is some time for me to reflect on my life. It's time for me to look at what it is that I can get out of this time. I would love some days. And in fact, I have some days during the day when I've not got clients and I've got about 3 or 4 hours to myself. I absolutely love that. But I do know some extroverted people in my life who would hate that, and they need to be around people in order for them to feel recharged. So you need to get to the root of your problem. Give yourself some time to figure out, what's going on. Why you're not happy with your current life and your current situation? What's possibly caused it? Have you inadvertently isolated yourself away from your friends and family by moving somewhere, possibly because you started a new job, you went to uni, a different city or country or whatever. You've started a new thing, and all of a sudden you realise that, oh, I'm by myself. I'm going to probably wrap this bit up, and we're going to continue on with this one. We've got a few episodes on this one, but a little bit of story. When I think I was 19 at the time. I was 19 and went to uni. I was the only one out of my group of friends, about 5 of us. We was all doing computing in college. I was the only one to get decent enough grades to go to uni. So I went. I still had to go through clearing because I wasn't that clever, and I should have picked a different course. But in the day, I thought computing was the future. Obviously, it wasn't for me, but that's what I thought I wanted to do. So I didn't get into halls. I had to find a house to live in. So I moved. I found this house to live in, and then on the day I was moving out, girlfriend at the time, I moved out and packed all my stuff in the car. Gave one a kiss and a hug, and I don't think I was crying or anything like that. She was. I was being strong and stuff. And then I went we drove all the way to Derby. That's where I went. And then my mate and my girlfriend at the time took me there, helped me unpack my stuff, put it in my room and everything. I was like, oh, this is it. It's happening. But then it also dawned on me. It dawned on me, hit me. I suddenly became severely lonely at that point in time. I realised I've just left everything behind, everything that I knew behind me. And I made them stay the night because I couldn't bear it. I was a right little wuss, and I couldn't bear to stay by myself in this big old house. I don't think hardly anyone else moved in at that time. It was all in this big old house, and there was one other person. And in this brand new city where I had nothing that I had apart from my belongings. And then I had nothing, and I was scared. So I know what loneliness feels like. The next day they went home, and I just had to crack on. I had to figure it all out. I had to figure out how to make friends. I had to figure out how to get to where I needed to go to. I had to figure out my surroundings, and I had to figure out everything else out, around me, and figured where I fitted into that world, because it wasn't my world anymore. It was a completely different one. And I lived. I survived it. So there is, like I said, as a time, that was my caterpillar phase. And there's some other stories I could quite tell you about being at uni, but I'm going to wrap it up there. So remember, you are loved, you are needed, and you are not alone. But we're going to discover a way to make you think, make you see that you're not. Okay, and again, if you this may not necessarily be maybe someone that you know, share the video, tag them in the video, or if not, just send it in via messenger or whatever, if you don't want to necessarily make a point. But I am here to help. I'm here to try and help you, and this is why I spend time and put time and effort into doing these videos, because I've experienced a wealth of difficulties, and there's no doubt I will experience other ones, but I feel the more we experience and the better we prepare ourselves for these things, the less damage they do to us in the long run, because we're already damaged, aren't we? So we don't need any more, but we can get through this. Anyway, I've already said goodbye, so I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching.